How's it going, everyone? Got quite a lot to talk about today when it comes to Xbox games coming to PlayStation. I think when it comes to new games from Xbox being revealed, most of us have the assumption that eventually those games will end up on PlayStation 5. The question is whether it'll be a day one thing, and I think eventually, and that eventually is probably sooner rather than later, eventually everything is gonna pivot to being a day one title, and in the case of Fable, it looks like it will be a day one title. And if you guys don't know, Fable will be having a big update at the Xbox event that'll be happening in a little bit, so that'll be pretty cool. And we do have the explanation for Forza as well, so we'll talk about that. And then another Xbox title has been confirmed for PlayStation 5 alongside a pretty sizable update. That is the RPG that dropped in February last year in Avowed. I played Avowed, and I definitely would not recommend spending $50 on it, but it's a game that, put it on the wish list. Once it's down to the 20 range, I think it is a decent pickup, but I'll talk that at the end of this video. And hey, some people might end up picking it up for 50 and enjoying it, and at the very least, they're not dropping it at 70. This isn't like Indiana Jones or Forza Horizon, where it's coming out on a significant delay and then still priced at a premium price point. At the very least, this one is gonna be priced at $49.99 and not $70. So more on that at the end of this video. But VGC's Andy Robinson did note Fable is day and date on PlayStation 5. That's what I've been told. I know they've been targeting PS5 for a while. And as for Forza, the explanation I was told by someone who was there was it just wasn't ready. That being the Forza Horizon 6 PlayStation 5 version, which will be released on a delay. And I believe we had heard that report before, that Forza was a game that was intended for PlayStation 5 later on in development, and then once the ball got rolling on that, the port just wouldn't be ready on time, so it's gonna be delayed. Whatever, there's enough games coming out. If you're a PlayStation 5 guy, look, Forza Horizon 6 is one of my most anticipated games of the year of 2026, but I've said it over and over again, there are enough games that are coming out that I feel like there are very few games that are actual true system sellers for people, especially in the case of Forza Horizon 6, where I don't believe it's gonna be that long of a wait. I would have to imagine that it's gonna be a 3 to 6 month wait at maximum for Forza Horizon 6 on PlayStation 5. And I know as far as the Forza Horizon glazing goes, I'm definitely on the higher tier than most people, but you kidding me? Forza Horizon in Japan, your boy is super excited for that. Fable is a game that I really, really want to be good. I really want it to be good, but based on, look, let's be honest, there has been a little bit of a tumultuous development cycle with this game. At least I feel like there has been. Maybe there hasn't. Maybe they just revealed the game way too early in 2020, and 6 years later the game has made a ton of progress and it'll be at a great state. Playground obviously also dropping Forza Horizon, so this is gonna be a big year for them. And there aren't a lot of years where you can look at a studio and they're dropping two gargantuan games in the same calendar year. In fact, Obsidian, which we'll talk about, their game did that exactly with Avowed and Outer Worlds 2. They actually dropped Grounded 2 last year as well, but nonetheless, I would put Forza Horizon and Fable as games of a higher echelon than those two titles. Maybe some of you guys disagree with me on that, but Fable is the comeback of one of the most iconic Xbox IPs of all time. While it was never on the level of Halo or Gears, I would say, I think a lot of people put Fable on the level of being one of the marquee Xbox IPs. Really, underneath, I would say the top ones would be Gears, Halo, Forza, and then right underneath that was Fable, and Fable 2 in particular was such an incredible game that I've been asking for a remaster of that game for eons and eons, and I don't know if we'll ever get that. Ever is a long time. Hopefully, sometime in the future, we get a Fable 2 remaster, but beyond that, I am hoping for this Fable game to be quite good. It's just, I know that there's been some pushback on some of the design choices, and I wonder why the delay was done in the first place. I wonder if it was to reassess where the game was at and then course correct a bit, but there's only so much you could do when a game is deep in development, and Fable is one of those games that I've looked at. Fingers crossed it comes out in 2026, but as far as all of the big Xbox titles that are coming out this year, Forza, Gears, Halo. Fable is the one I looked at where I was like, dude, I could totally see that getting delayed to 2027. Hopefully that doesn't happen. Hopefully it is a stellar year and going with the 25-year mark for Xbox, dropping a new Fable, dropping a new Gears, dropping a new Halo, and dropping a new Forza. That's a great way to celebrate the year for Xbox. But then, you know, what do you have for 2027? That's another question entirely for what do you have for next year. I would imagine next year would be games like Clockwork Revolution and whatnot. But yeah, you might be dropping too much this year, and it might be a case of, you know, if we got Forza, Gears, and Halo, Fable can shift into 2027, and I could totally see that end up happening, but we'll see about that. Lastly, I do want to note that Avowed will be coming to PlayStation 5 on February the 17th alongside its anniversary update. Now, Avowed's a game that I played right when it came out last year, and I thought it was okay. I didn't think the game was this blow-away title. I thought it was a totally fine game. I definitely did not like the game from a character design and narrative standpoint, but I do think the gameplay and the world design, like the actual world and the exploration of that world, I thought that was handled fairly well. Like, I thought it was a super colorful game, and a lot of the world design choices I did quite like. It's just the character design I wasn't crazy about, and narratively did nothing for me. In fact, Outer Worlds 2 did nothing for me narratively either, and Avowed did nothing for me. And I know it's gonna be a total hot take. I really think that Obsidian these days is super overrated, just because I know how highly some people put Obsidian, and I really do give Obsidian a lot of credit for their consistency and their level of output, but for a long time their games have been, in my opinion, super mid. Outer Worlds 1 I didn't think was very good. I thought it was fine. I thought it was a serviceable RPG. Outer Worlds 2, I was not crazy about that game as much as other people as well. I thought it was okay. I thought the gameplay was decent, but narratively, characters, again, not my cup of tea. And Avowed, I could say the same thing. Like, usually these games from a gameplay standpoint, I think they're fun games to go through and they're totally fine. But given how Obsidian is received, I personally would have expected their games to be more than fine. But, you know, try the games out for yourself. It's just, Avowed is gonna be $50. I wouldn't spend $50 on it. I would spend at most $30. And ideally, you know, wait for it to get down to $25, $20. The Xbox games do generally hold up in price a little bit longer. And thank the high heavens that this isn't a $70 release, because I think that would have been absolutely egregious. There will be a premium edition with the base game, 2-player armors, 8 companion skins, and a digital art book and soundtrack. Thankfully, they're not doing the fake early access gimmick with this one as well, because Microsoft does tend to do that as well. Even with their games that are releasing on a delay, they'll do the fake early access. With the anniversary update, you will get New Game Plus, a photo mode, a new weapon type, changing appearance in the world, new character presets, and more godlike feature presets. Remember that, again, I'm not crazy about Avowed. I thought it was a serviceable game, much like I thought Obsidian's other games, Outer Worlds 2, Outer Worlds 1. They're serviceable, fine RPGs. I just don't think they're blow-away. That's just one man's opinion. At the end of the day, all of this is super subjective, so if you want to check it out, if you're a big RPG guy, try it out for yourself. You might end up having a really good time with it. The last Obsidian game that I really enjoyed was Pillars of Eternity, and Pillars of Eternity 2 less so, but PoE 1 definitely. But yeah, I just haven't found their games to be absolutely blow away. Pediment was a really cool game, don't get me wrong, and Grounded was never going to be something that I get super into. But as far as their big RPGs, Outer Worlds 2, Avowed, played all of them, and just was not blown away by any of them. I thought they were totally fine, but again, I just expected a little bit more. But nonetheless, there you go with that. Avowed will be dropping on February the 17th, but that's gonna do it for me. Again, Fable on PlayStation 5 looks to be a game that's gonna be day and date, and man, if you're a PlayStation 5 guy, throw that into your pile of games to be excited for. You know, Fable's one that I do have my skepticism towards just because of how long it's been in development, the delays, etc., etc. But, you know, I'm still super excited for it, given Fable's been one of my favorite franchises growing up, and now to see it finally come back, that's exciting if nothing else. Forza Horizon, and then you look at the PlayStation offerings, you're gonna have Wolverine, you're gonna have Saros, and then you add in, like, Forza Horizon and Fable and Halo. Like, dude, if you have a PlayStation 5, feel like you're in pretty good these days. But yeah, that'll do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Avowed coming out on February the 17th. I would pump the brakes on that one, wait for it to go on sale, and then check it out. But yeah, I did really think the game had a lot of fun gameplay, and the action-oriented combat I thought was fun. It was just characters narratively writing. Thought it was pretty mediocre in that regard. But yeah, that'll do it for me. Your thoughts down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.